Combining the un and the moon. And no, this is not a play on words, but I'm going to prove to you that this is exactly the interpretation that is intended to be understood. This is a ritual and not a mistake. Surprisingly, right? You'd think, okay, Kim Jong-un, UN, just add an S right here. And what does it spell? Sun, right? And who's the other guy? President Moon. Moon J-N, I guess. I don't know how you pronounce it. I never heard anybody pronounce it before. So, Moon J-N or J-N. So we're going to combine the sun and the moon. This is something else, I'll tell you. It cracks me up because what's going on here, okay? It is a combining of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Just like we've shown in so many other rituals. It's yin and yang, it's the phallus and the chalice, okay, the circle and the square, the Kaaba and the moon. Okay, so this is one more proof that the world order is controlling the entire world. It's not, you think it's coming sometime in the future, but in fact, it's actually already in place. Punching these guys' names. Let me show you something here. Moon, J or JN. Okay, you see the 42 right here and the 48. Now you think exoterically that North Korea and South Korea are just polar opposites. And from an exoteric viewpoint, they most certainly are. One is a capitalist country with a lot of wealth and big cities, and the other is a communist country full of poverty and starvation. And that's true. But something has been going on behind the scenes. Kim Jong-un also sums to 42 and 48. In the same ciphers, for heaven's sakes. Now, do you think that's very likely to happen if that's not planned? If you're new to this cipher, this calculator right here is called gematrinator.com. And it will show you how each cipher takes a letter and turns it into a number. So all you have to do is just run your cursor over and it'll show you how each one works. Okay, you type in the word, it does all the calculations for you. It makes it simple. I open up these two for reasons I don't care to explain in this particular episode, but if you've watched my other episodes, you probably know by now. Okay, so 42 and 48. Now, that's a very important number, this 42, because it's a Saturn number. And these are Saturnian rituals. All day long we do decodes that pair up with this number 42. Saturn is the same as the moon. Why are so many rituals done by eclipses and in relation to the moon? Well, Saturn and the moon are both 21 in the same cipher. They're simply telling you that a Saturnian ritual or a moon ritual are essentially the same thing. So the moon is coded with the divine feminine, as we've said many times, which is 911 in this Jewish cipher right here. See, this is one of the reasons why I like to always open this cipher. And isn't it interesting that, and this is what got me thinking about it, was this story here today, is that Trump is having a meeting with the South Korean president today on 4/11/2019. So just look at the 1119 and read it backwards, 911. That's not a mistake, because this is a divine feminine Saturnian moon ritual combining the divine masculine with the divine feminine. Now this part just absolutely blows me away. Look at the North Koreans dictator's wife's name, Ri Sol Ju. Now, look at the SOL. SOL is, and I caught this just immediately because I'm so familiar with telling this story to so many people. SOL, like solar. Look at these numbers, 104, 32, and 85. This character from the Bible, Solomon, see the SOL, is literally the Sol for sun and Mon for moon. His name is literally describing a combination of the divine masculine with the divine feminine. And his numbers are only one away from each of Re-Soul Jews numbers, 103, 104, 31 and 32, 86 and 85. This is not coincidence, folks. This is telling you that, and you thought I was joking at first, they really are combining the Un and the Moon. This is a very old ritual. Solomon lived over 2,000, 3,000 years ago. This is not anything new. So, also you'll notice that they're trying to make a peace treaty, which is 119 in the English ordinal cipher, with Pyongyang. Which is 119 in reverse ordinal. Even a crazy guy that made this story, this AI assigned author, and I like to say AI assigned because how do these guys really sit here and gematria all the terms in their articles? I mean, I know they could do it, but I think they have something helping them, you know? So I don't think they really write these stories, but even his name sums to 19. Now, the Committee of 300 is a group of elitists that are said to run the world. And they sum to, what did I spell wrong? I missed the E. Okay. Knew those numbers weren't right. Okay, the Committee of 300 sums to 119 and 254. Now, it's interesting that 9/11/2001 was the 254th day of the year. And our date numerology for 4/11/2019, when you add the 4 plus the 11 plus the 20 plus the 19, equals 54. What are the chances? Well, it's not a chance. This is a planned Saturnian moon ritual after the order of King Solomon, with Kim's wife. Oh, I'm sorry, it was the North Korean, not the South Koreans. What did I say earlier? I forgot. Well, the North Korean's leader's wife, Ri Sol Ju. So this is a ritual that is thousands of years old, continuing today, combining the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine, the Sol and the moon, Solomon. Now, they are after diplomatic relations, it says in the article. And you'll see that diplomatic relations sums to 118 in the reversible reduction cipher. It's reminiscent of the day that we're looking out for, August 11, and we should pay attention to that. But in this case, Saturn's cube equals 811 in the Jewish cipher. Saturn's cube would be reminiscent of the Kaaba, which is the sacred masculine. That's why in Islam, the sacred masculine is represented by the Kaaba and the sacred feminine by the moon. So it's not hard to figure out who's the sun and who's the moon. Kim Jong-un, or sun if you add the S, and moon, Jai-in. It's very, very obvious what's going on here. Saturn's cube also equals 35, and the meeting is happening on a Thursday, which also sums to 35. 811 is the 141st prime number. And you'll notice that this meeting is on 411, just a scrambling of those same numbers. All these put together, and we can understand that this is a ritual. But rituals like this get me to think and ask certain questions, very important questions that we should be asking. If this is a ritual and these names had to have been set up decades in advance, and both sides understand and know about it, why are these millions of people in North Korea suffering for all these decades and all these years? Why did we fight wars there? Do you understand that the whole world is a stage, a theater, a hoax? When we participate in it, we give them the power to continue this charade. But it's a very dangerous charade in which they will kill as many people as necessary, millions upon millions of people, to continue combining this sacred masculine and sacred feminine and establish their new world order. And this is just one small piece of what their ultimate plans are. 2 world wars have passed, the second progressively worse than the first. What do you think is going to happen with the third? It was predicted by Albert Pike, a 33rd degree Mason, back in the 1800s, the only Southerner to be buried in the North. He predicted 3 world wars. The third war was supposed to be the West against Islam. You notice anything sort of forming like that today in the world? Does it kind of look like anything like that might happen? To create these communist states of the past, part of what happened in World War II and leading up to World War II, okay? 60, 80 million people died in Russia, another 60, 80 million people in China, 1 million people from Pol Pot in Cambodia, and I don't even know how many hundreds of thousands, possibly millions died in North Korea. I don't have the statistics for that one. But it doesn't matter to them. This was a stage set up from both sides long in advance. So they're still doing it. Are we going to wake up? Are we going to change anything? Or is it going to continue? Let me know your thoughts. Please like, share, and subscribe.